I rolled kind of high for a D12. How did you do?
Wait, D12? I rolled a D10. Hold up. I rolled the wrong.
There's 12 months in a year. 12 directors.
Okay, I only rolled one higher than I rolled on my D10. Well, at first I pulled out a D8, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing?
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
I don't have any fun quotes because most of the quotes are in a different language.
It's hard for you to remember any one-liners.
Yeah.
There's some English in this movie. They're not
hey,
fun people.
I'll help you.
I was talking about the evil scientist.
Yeah. There was one good American, and they got rid of him real quick. Like,
kind of. I don't know.
We don't have enough background for him, but he did selflessly try to help.
Yeah, and maybe got used as a pawn in the end. But before we head into any accidental spoilers, welcome to a brand new month of us watching 12 different directors. This is our, you said, what's the word, penultimate?
Penultimate, yes.
Yeah, this month we were watching Bong Joon, a South Korean director, I think most famously known for Parasite. Mm-hmm. And we're going through their backlog. And if you didn't catch it in the title, this month we are starting with The Host.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, a little caveat, we obviously haven't recorded the episode yet, so we don't know how, at least my brain's going to be, because I literally just got back maybe an hour ago from a 3-hour car trip.
And I said we could make it work and find other days to record.
And I was like, no, let's just do it. But I feel good, just as good as this train is right now.
Honk, honk.
But no, I feel fine. It was just like, I feel fine now. I'm just saying, hey, just in case the second half of this show gets a little funky. You know why.
The
sleepies. So
look, the sleepies caught up to a lot of people in this movie. Specifically, like, the main guy.
Yeah.
I do like the background story for that. But again, to preface, I did specifically, like, when we were going through the list of directors, I did want an excuse to watch, like, Parasite again. And I was aware of The Host in terms of, like, this movie is old enough that when Netflix was sending people DVDs as a service, mm-hmm. I do remember my brother was like, hey, watch this movie with me. But it was probably in that same age range as you had watched The Cell, in that I remember enjoying this movie, but watching it, I go, maybe I remember 2 scenes. But I'm glad that it didn't turn out like The Cell. At least I hope you didn't take it like The Cell.
No, there's one scene that I'm gonna, when we get to Spoiler Town, that I'm like, it just cracked me up so much. Like, and it's not even supposed to be funny.
But the thing is, the movie is really funny.
It is funny, yeah.
And the IMDb, I think, just lists it as, it does have dark comedy. But when you initially Google it says, no, that's black comedy.
No.
But when you first, like, Google this, it just says, like, drama horror. And I'm like, sure. But I don't know, something about this movie, for anyone who's, like, completely unfamiliar with it, it's like if a B movie actually had good writers. Mm-hmm. And the graphics are surprisingly good for, what is this, 2006? Yeah, 2006. Because I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a little cheesy looking. And then I looked at the release year and I was like, for 2006, it's not that cheesy.
Yeah, like, it's still good. Like, it is CGI, but I think it does it pretty well. But before we go too far in there, we do have a small tradition, which we only have 2 months left of doing this, of mentioning the signature elements, the directorial style of Bong Joon-ho, which is just off of the first website that I find, and hopefully I just did a quick scroll, and it's pretty good. Normally I feel like these lists take forever, so I'm just gonna, like, hopefully now
that highlights.
Yeah. So it is only 10. So, like, first one is genre blending, which, I could see that, like, with how Parasite is. Snowpiercer, maybe not so much, but The Host, I feel like, does have some genre blending.
I bless the genres that these are blending.
Yes. Social commentary, which I think
every movie.
I've seen, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
a lot of specifically, like, as far as I can tell, classism and
Mm-hmm.
how it's handled in Korea specifically. Parasite is really like much more in your face about like talking
Yeah.
about the wealth disparity. I think the host hints at it
Mm-hmm.
without necessarily going too deep in.
And Snowpiercer is like a it's kind of the same thing, classism and all that stuff. With it's a metaphor that is beat over your head if you couldn't understand. It's very much in your face, but
Yeah, but Snowpiercer is based off of, is it a book or is
French
it
comic book.
French comic book? Okay.
3 is dark humor, which
Yes.
we will I know we will be talking about. Complex characters, which I would agree. It's like sometimes they feel like a little bit like at first you're like okay, and then it's like oh, they have
Yeah,
many layers like an onion.
in this one particular, it's really easy to not like them, and I think
Yes.
I got to a point where I was like, don't make me like that guy.
Oh. Brilliant cinematography. Yeah, I think. Yeah, just as a quick line, he's like often uses long takes and wide shots to build tension and immerse the audience in the world he creates, as well as carefully crafted visuals. And yeah, I would agree. Like even just with the movie we've seen today, we'll be talking about that symbolism and metaphor, which I feel like kind of mixes
Goes
with
into the social commentary.
social commentary. Unpredictable plot twists. I feel like the host has a couple where I'm like, oh, okay.
I think the host does lend itself to, oh, I think I know what the ending is, and there's like two things in it that I was like, okay, that's actually kind of neat that it wasn't what I thought it was. So I see
Yeah.
it.
Social realism. Yeah, so this feels like something almost similar to Guillermo, of having elements of fantasy and the extraordinary sci-fi with grounded within the social realism, like of stuff that's happening with his characters. Collaborative approach. Okay, I didn't realize that. Like it says that he often encourages improvisation on set between his cast and crew. So that way there's a little bit more creative freedom rather than probably some of the other people that we had on this list that's like In My Way or Get Out. And sound design, which sound plays a crucial role in Bong Joon Ho's film. So yeah. So
Straightforward list. That's nice.
It's straightforward. I also was just like, let's just go boop, 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 rather than read the whole paragraph. Like if you want to look up the article, type in Bong Joon Ho's directorial style, and it'll probably be the first one, just like the one I found.
Yeah, because I know some of the other websites, they don't give you points. They just go, and this is my essay about why so-and-so is good at this. And you're like, but what is this? I just need the what is.
That was pretty much every David Lynch thing, trying to find that.
I feel like Kubrick was also kind of like, yeah, because people were like, I have to analyze it because I'm a film student. It's like, or you could just like summarize it first and then go into it.
Yeah. Speaking about David Lynch real quick, I don't know if you saw that Instagram post I shared with you.
Oh, I didn't. I was trying not to be at my computer much this weekend.
It's all good. I can give a quick synopsis of it. The person. There we go. I don't know. It's not making it bigger, but it was pretty much, if people who don't know, Hop is or was a big fan of Stardew Valley. I don't know if you still play it, but it was pretty much quoted by I forget the guy who made it, where he was like, "Hey, if anyone's gonna make a Stardew Valley movie, no one is able to do it unless it's Studio Ghibli." And then someone posted in there, it's like, you left out the most important part, which it's like the exception to this rule of saying nobody can't make a movie unless it's Studio Ghibli. The only other person that is allowed to do it is Twin Peaks creator David Lynch.
What a twist.
Yeah, and it's like, the quote is, if Studio Ghibli approaches me, I would probably say, okay, let's do it. If David Lynch approached me and wanted to make a Stardew Valley movie, I would say go ahead, just do it. Stardew Valley wholesome vibes would make a perfect Studio Ghibli movie, although David Lynch's take on a farming sim would probably be quite different. So
that would be really fascinating to see what would happen with that. Because I actually, like, I was watching a YouTube video earlier, and for some reason the lighting in the video was like really bright. It almost felt like spotlights on some of the at some points of the video.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was looking and I was like, something about this looks off. And I had to ask Shredder, I was like, is there like a shadow vignette around the corners? He's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, I feel like I'm in a David Lynch flashback right now. Because it was really bright in the center of the screen and then really like just slightly off faded on the edges. And I was just like, this makes me feel weird. Maybe I'm just thinking of all the VHS tapes and Lost Highway.
Oh, yeah. Don't mind me if my camera starts changing colors. This is me doing it on purpose because I look purple.
It's Halloween. Oh, well,
no,
at the time of recording this,
yes.
It's almost Halloween.
A little bit.
We already had our Halloween episode.
Yes. So, this is like all the stuff you're supposed to do off camera to make sure. It was just like my face looked a little bit dark. This looks better. Cool. Any poops.
Color grading in real time.
Yep. Without like, hopefully that. Oh, I almost X'd out of OBS and then I would have lost my camera. Okay. Well, anyway, shall we do our normal things and roll some dice?
I would love to roll some dice. So if this is your first time stumbling upon us, welcome in. Like we mentioned, we are watching through. I guess the intro should be a little different. We have watched through 11 out of 12 directors for this year. So to decide who gives a short summary about the movie we watched this week, we both roll 12-sided dice to represent that. Whoever rolls higher gets to give like a 1 or 2 sentence summary of the movie, no spoilers. We ask each other a couple questions to get some discussion going, and then we will warn you before we go into spoiler town. This movie is from 2006, so it is a little bit older, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, and I think it's a movie that if you can avoid having it spoiled, I think it's a fun watch. I don't think it's a required watch, but I think it's a fun watch.
I think, the less you know, I think the better. This is the second movie in a row that we've gave that warning.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the thing is, like, culturally, like, it kind of has been, like, done a lot.
Yeah.
The Host, I think, is... Oh, it's funny. They're both movies that are just, like, the blank.
Yeah.
Back to back. But The Host, you think you've seen it before, but you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled kind of high for a D12. How did you do?
D12? I rolled a D10. Hold up. I rolled the wrong.
There's 12 months in a year. 12 directors.
Okay. I only rolled one higher than I rolled on my D10. Well, at first I pulled out a D8, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I rolled a 5.
Okay, I rolled a 9. So your streak has come to an end.
It did. I still can tie. There's still a chance.
There's time. Yes.
I just need to get another month straight.
Of all the summaries.
Actually, no. It's... Anyway, yeah. It's... Yeah. 7 episodes. Because we're doing something fun for the last episode of the year.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, for the end of the year.
So I got... Okay. Hey, I'm just glad I caught up. Like, I'm
the gap was a lot bigger. This is true.
What was it? How long was the streak? It was 6.
6.
So...
I think before that I had a 6 streak, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I also had a 6 streak.
Yeah. Looking at this though, it doesn't look like it should be even. Like it looks like a lot more blue than there is green. Anyway.
I think it's because all the blues next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, yeah, for fun we're tracking who gets to give the summaries because previous I guess seasons of the show where we go through and watch different forms of media, we didn't keep track of it. And we were like, man, I have to talk a lot. And we were like, I wonder how much each of us has to talk.
Yep.
But yeah, summary time. So basically what we have in The Host, it's a pretty short movie. It's 2 hours and 1 part kaiju movie, 1 part family drama. Combine the two and include terrible decisions made by people higher up. Yeah. This is my attempt to say, like, if you like kaiju movies, if you like family dramas, or you like seeing the effects of governments making decisions for people that they don't agree with, then I think you'll I think you'll find something you like within any of those three. Like, imagine it as a Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
The circles overlapping. And that's my attempt to not spoil too much, but also give you, like, heads up. And I would say this is also a movie where I don't think there's any major warnings that I feel like I have to give people. Unless you're grossed out by slimy stuff.
Yeah. That'd probably be the only thing. Like, it's kind of a little bit of a spoiler, though. The only thing is, like, child,
if you have
like the
harm to children,
yeah.
Or if you are sensitive after lockdown to, like, things that are, like, reminiscent of it. But interestingly enough, this is, again, in 2006, 14 years before everything got locked down for us. Mm-hmm. But
he was telling the future.
Gasp.
Anyway, quick question for you. If this was the only movie you watched by this director, would you watch the rest of their catalog?
Yeah. I think...
Why?
So, no. I need a bulleted or a fully cited essay. No, so I think this is kind of like a nice little kind of transition in movies as we're going along. Because I know for December we're watching much chiller movies, right? Mm-hmm. Like September was, or I guess let me go back a little bit further than that. So we have, in June, we watched very, like, serious movies that are meant to be taken seriously. Yeah. And then July we have movies that are visually like a lot of people's favorites, but we of course had our different criticisms. It's just like bright colors.
It's symmetry. Okay, everyone, you're wrong.
And then August we had a mixed bag of movies, right? Like, I had one of my favorite movies of all time, mm-hmm. and then I wanted to like Crimson Peak more than I did. Like, yeah. I thought I would love it, but I don't know. That's fine.
It was better than July.
Yeah, but I do think, like, and then September as well, and into October, I think all of those directors in a row made movies because they want people to take their movies, like, seriously, right? Like, they're all the type of directors that are like, I do this, like, to be recognized. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like this month we have a movie where the guy was just like, I have something to say, and movies is how I'm gonna do it. And I think it's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. I don't know, September was very topsy-turvy, October was very straightforward, and now we get to laugh a little bit in November, so it's a nice little...
Yeah, and then, well, December, you guys will just have to wait, but it's gonna be, like, even more relaxed.
Of a palate cleanser.
It's going to be like more of a brain relaxing before we, I don't know, have no one to blame but ourselves. Well, we don't have anyone to blame.
We can blame a wheel.
Yeah, but, like, we still are choosing
what's on the wheel.
What's on the wheel. But I would agree. I would also watch the rest of their catalog because this was, a fun thing.
And I think the genre bending is a little nice because I don't think... I think the closest we've gotten to genre bending other than this is, I think people will argue that David Lynch genre bends, but I think he kind of, he built his own, yeah, he built his own style and he kind of lives within that. So it's more like he's an undefined, like, it's hard to define his movies.
As they would call it in, what was it, Hunter x Hunter, he would be a specialist where he would have
nobody else. Yeah.
There's no, like, what was it, the Nin? It's a specialist where you have more than one of the abilities, but it's also, like, takes on such a unique flavor that it's like, no, it's just you.
Yeah. I do think John Carpenter does genre bend, but not in a way that's, like, literal, but in a way that's, like, sci-fi and horror are already kind of adjacent, and things like that. But I feel like the host that we watched for this week is literally, like, a little bit of humor, a little bit of kaiju, a little bit of horror, a little bit of
A
like
little bit of
family.
comedy on the, a little bit of family on my side. A song that no one ever expects to come back.
Look, he's just dating all these women.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Talking about childhood. How much did you root for the characters?
Yeah. Okay. So by the end, definitely, like after the 3/4 mark, I was like, okay, I see how I'm supposed to root for these people. The beginning was a little rough because they are very unlikable in the beginning, but I think it's again the kind of movie that looks at it and goes, when you're really comfortable in life, then you become kind of like complacent. Versus when you finally have something you have to overcome, then you can kind of like put things aside and like come together. But I would say overall, yes. Like I really liked the
The family? Or
well, yeah, I liked the family, but I liked who they were all looking to help. That's
yeah.
how I'll phrase it. So I liked her enough that I was like, please. And then we can
The
talk about it in
only
Spoiler Town.
confident one in that whole
Yeah. But again, to Spoiler Town, that will
Yes.
go. How about you?
Yeah, no, I would say the same, where it's just like, oh man, these are big dummies.
Those are choices you're making.
Yeah. And then it's really interesting because like watching this and now I'm like thinking about it, you can definitely see shades of Parasite in this.
Like the beginnings of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the family and everything. Except instead of a family, it's that they're trying to trick, it's big dumb monsters. But yeah, no, I would agree with that, and it's like the same thing of trying not to give too much spoilers. What grade would you give the plot?
Um, I I think I'm gonna lend towards like a B minus. Only because I think some things that benefit my watching of this movie again is because like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air compared to some of the other movies we were watching
Yeah.
recently, where it's like, oh, this does feel like a new take on something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like on its own, in some ways, I think it takes on too much. There's some things I'd like to see like kind of elaborated on, but it's fine in the context of it.
Yeah. Almost if it had like an extra 20, 30 minutes, it'd been like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I would agree with like a B. I was thinking like there's a lot of things that I like, but then there's like other stuff where it's just like,
That's convenient.
why,
Yeah.
why need drill? Also, what would be nice to know, why so strong? But we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Raised a family of superheroes. How likely would you recommend this movie to others, which you kind of already did?
Yeah, I did through this, and I also think it's one of those movies. I know you have a scale before where you're like, would I rewatch it with a group of friends? This is a very friend group watchable
Yes.
movie. And I think because, like I said, it kind of touches on a bunch of different kind of pieces of movies that people tend to really like, I think somebody could find something they like in this movie. So it's a pretty easy one to recommend.
Yeah, no, I would agree. This would definitely be one that I would suggest and would be happy to watch again with a group of people. I think on my own, I probably would wait a little bit, but I don't think I would mind this. I think this would be a fun movie to put on if I was by myself and I'm like, okay, I need to like, I don't know, wrap Christmas presents or something like that, where it's just like have it on.
You glance up every so
glance
often,
up
yeah.
to remember what the heck they're saying. And there was like a TikTok that I see everyone, like I see different people do the same one, but it's like me eating dinner while watching my anime, and it's just like, well, yes, I am your father, and then they look down to like get their noodles, and it's like, and I do not like you, and as they like look back up, it's just like gibberish in the middle, like as they can't read the subtitles. That's what it would be like for me doing that. By the way, that I don't know why that accent just also reminded me. I finally got hit the halfway point of Shogun.
Oh.
And yeah, I can see why your one comment of they're the love interest. I'm like, oh yeah, no, they definitely be fooling around in bed to sell. In the book, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they did.
Yeah.
I feel like
sorry if I spoiled for you. I try
fine.
To be spoiler free as I can.
It was, let's be honest, it was expected. Like,
you said they were already flirting.
They were already flirting and all that. I realized this was a pre-show recording banter talking stuff, and I realized this was never brought to the podcast. Hello, everyone. According to this, the end of October. That's right. It's not actually November for us. I am halfway through the first half of Shogun. I don't think I'm going to make it through the second half of Shogun by the end of the year, but we'll find out because a big book and I want to be done with it. So, anyway, yeah. So now it's time for Spoiler Town.
Spoiler Town. I think this is the earliest we've gotten to Spoiler Town in a while.
Yeah. It's amazing what a 3-hour card trip does. Do we want to give a heads up for what we're doing next week?
Yes. If you do not want to be spoiled for the host, because we have said several times, the less you know, the better. Next week we will be watching and talking through Snowpiercer. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to catch in that episode, or also we like to watch that ahead of time before we accidentally spoil anything for you.
That's actually my first Bong Joon film.
Okay, you have watched them other than Parasite too. Cool.
Yes, yeah. Snowpiercer I watched when I was trying to become more of just like only watching action movies. It was Snowpiercer, Ex Machina. Oh, there's I think Life. It's the one with the boy and the tiger on the boat. Life of Pi. Yeah, Life of Pi. That was later. There was another movie I'm completely blanking on that I know. There was like 4 movies that I watched, and it was like the start of like, oh, this is more cinema and not just moving blobs on the TV. So there was thought.
Yeah, I know Ex Machina is one of your like.
I love that
favorites. Yeah.
It probably explains when I write stories and stuff.
A big influence.
Or yeah, not that I do like that stuff in particular, but it's like that sci-fi kind of thriller horror stuff. But anyway, before I begin rambling on other stuff, it's gonna bother me that I can't remember those other 2 movies.
I'll get a message, guys, in like 2 hours. I got it.
We'll see. No, in 2 hours I might be asleep. We'll see. Or I'll just forget, like, as we talk about the host. But I was on a train today. Or by today, I mean yesterday. And now I get to be on a train to Spoiler Town in 3, 2, 1.
Turn back now if you don't want to be spoiled. But you said you wanted to bring up a specific scene that you thought was funny. There is a lot of humor in this. There's a lot of humor. So we can start with humor.
Yes. But the one that, like, I just cracked up laughing so much, it's when they're breaking out of the hospital and, like, they're just all going through there. And, like, they have their friend, somebody, I forget whose friend it is, like, bring the car.
He has around. Like my cousin's brothers. Yeah.
So they all like jump in the car as like the doctors are chasing after, and they're like, yeah, and they throw them out, and they're all like, where's our sister? Where's our sister? And they're like looking, they're not in the car. And I was like thinking the same thing. I'm like, she's not in the car. And then it's just a scene of her like embarrassingly like waddle walking like between the cars, like, oh my gosh, you guys left me behind. I'm just like,
I think that scene was supposed to be funny because I did laugh a lot about that. And I think that's one of the sneaky things that's really good about this movie is like there's a secret character building that you don't realize is happening because they establish in the beginning that she like chickens out during her gold medal chance of like in the, I don't know if it's the Olympics specifically or just like some archery competition.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, it says the Olympics.
So like she hesitates for that. She hesitates on the van. She has other scenes where she's constantly hesitating until the end of the movie. So I do think that was like funny on purpose and character building on
yeah.
purpose, but it was just like, yeah, there's little things like that, because you also have the really small detail that made me laugh every time. When they first do the newscast about the family, the one brother's like, they're not talking about me. And they're like, why would they? You're a college graduate without a job. He's like, what? And then they go to the poster, and the poster is such an old picture of him. He doesn't have that haircut. He looks like he's in high school. So, like, that little detail being brought through in the same way where he's like,
Forgotten.
And his dad has the one-liner. He's like, you're a college graduate. Why did I pay for you to go to school if you're not, like, helping? And the son is just like, what? You guys are assholes to me. And everyone's like, you're an asshole.
To everybody.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, like, and I think the other scene that made me laugh really, like, more than I think it was intended is when he, like, gets in contact with the guy to track the cell phone. And the guy goes, like, it's in the manager's office. And in my head, I was like, oh, he's just going to call to, like, claim the reward. And he goes in there, and there's, like, 30 guys sitting there. And I was just like, what?
They're like, he doesn't know where his sister is. Oh. Well, we'll get him.
And in the time that they're doing this little yapping thing, like, will we get the full reward if we don't get the sister? Do I get the reward?
Yeah.
Are there taxes on a reward?
Yes. Like, it feels like questions that would be asked now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the guy also establishes, because the brother in that scene is like, you must be doing so well. You make, like, 6 figures, right? He's like, dude, I have 6 figures in credit card debt. I don't know what you think, like, I'm doing with my life. So I was immediately like, oh, he's going to turn him in, because it's very well known there's an reward. And then for him to be there, like, so your sister, like, I'm really worried about her. He's like, why the fuck do you care about my sister? He's like, no, you know, like, what if she's endangered? He's like, she's an archery, like, god. Like, what am I supposed to be worried about?
It's like, she went another direction.
And he's like, oh, so you have no clue. He's like, dude, help me find my niece. Like, isn't that why I'm here?
Yes. Which, I don't know, that I thought it was really fun in the beginning of when they're watching the sister, like, doing the Olympic thing, and it just shows how much of, like, a dummy her father is, and then it tells you, it kind of gives you an explanation, but yeah, it was just doing all that and everything, he's just like, here, have a beer. I'm in middle school or whatever, like 5th grade or whatever it is. He's like, I drank younger than you. Just, it's fine.
Which is like, it seems like, oh, he's a terrible dad. And then they get the little background to the siblings falling asleep where he's like, they're like, I don't want to listen about my brother. But then they get the background where the dad's like, yeah, I was absent because your mother died and your poor brother, like, he didn't have anything to eat. And I was drinking, so he was drinking. And you're just like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the 2 of them are sleeping, and he's like in it, like all like teary eyed, and he looks up, and the older brother's just like dead awake, just like, it's like, what are you doing? And then it's like, he's out there. Just like,
I do appreciate the other detail that we get that scene right there that explains, like, the scene later. So we are in Spoiler Town. So yes. I like how he's, like, drinking the rainwater, and he's, like, completely still because, like, he wants to drink the fresh water versus, like, he's in the Han River, to which, you know, it's been completely polluted at this point based on other stuff that we see in the beginning of the movie. But yeah, he's sitting there drinking the water. So then for them to use that same pose when he's, like, pouring vodka from the sky and the thing's like, it's raining? I want it. And I was just like, okay, good job threading all of that together.
Yeah, it was that Park Gang-do, I think, is the name of the character, and it's just like,
yeah,
and it was like the dad of the daughter we're trying to get there, and it was interesting, like, just seeing, like, all that, where you just, like, when we get the first spotting of the monster, or, like, the first, like, thing, and it feels like a real thing of just, like, oh, we threw
people on the river, yeah,
and, like, they threw a beer down, and they're just like, oh, and then, like, everyone's throwing trash into the river, and everyone's just like, oh, it's gone, blah, okay, and then it's just, like, you look to the left, and it's just, like, Oh man,
running.
yeah, just like, oh my goodness, and and all that stuff. But oh man, I want that thing to face Sharktopus. But anyway,
That'd be very entertaining. I did another thing that I laughed at more than I probably should have, but I know it's supposed to be funny. Is the family wrestling each other while the photographers
yes,
are like, "Get the footage! Get the footage! They're upset! They're fighting at the
yeah,
gravesite!" And they're just sitting there going, "Oh my god, what are you taking photos of? Stop! Please, no!"
yeah. And they're like they're so outward with their sorrow, which it's like, yeah, no, I totally understand. Like if my niece died, well, I don't know if I would be doing all that they were doing, but
Yeah,
I
but
would
like
be.
they're like they're grieving in different ways. Like the
Yeah,
one's angry, the one's sad, the one's like inconsolable.
until
But
one's
yeah,
hungry.
the one's just really.
Yeah.
I also I thought of Monsters Inc. Funnily enough too, where you have the guy in the yellow suit, and like he's trying to be sneaky and like falls, and everyone's like, what was that noise?" And he's just like, "Hey everyone, can you calmly tell me if you've been in contact with the creature?" And the main guy's like, "I had its blood on my face," and he's like, "Get him!" But calmly, everybody,
Yeah,
calmly join us, get him.
Yeah, just like, everyone, you're good. Yeah. Maybe it's just he was like, what?
And his dad's like, "Why the hell did you tell him that?"
He's like, why not? Oh man, I think something else that I thought was pretty neat. I guess kind of going, I guess switching away from the sillies was definitely I thought it's a little bit funny, but at the same time I thought it was unique of how the creature like swung on the bridge, because it's like
With its one
it's a
tail,
little
yeah.
goofy, but it's still like, I'm like, it's a fat Spider-Man. But
Fat spider fish.
yeah, but it's still like, it's just interesting of where it's just like how it moves, where it's like it's even creepy, like it's still like big enough to charge at you and all that stuff, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, so big. It's just like humorous.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of making it in that kind of that creepy space where you're like, it's almost like things that I've seen before, but it's like it's alien enough that you're like, they don't know what to do about it. I also like that they did make it like an animal, because they do have the
Yes.
one line where the dad says like, "Oh, when animals like harm humans, they say like you need to tear it limb from limb," which is like a theme that carries throughout.
Yeah.
But it is animal like in terms of like it technically ate until it was full, but was like, "But if I don't want to hunt again, I want to have like
Some
stuff left
snacks.
over." Yeah. And then like I think I really like the way that they revealed it, where you don't really understand why there's a few bodies left behind, because it clearly ate many more people than that.
Yeah, it shows you all the people it ate.
Yeah. And then the scene where it just throws up all the bones, I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, he was full. His tummy had a hurdy," and he was like, "I want it, but not now."
Yeah.
And he had a den, essentially.
It's crazy how smart the niece is compared to the rest of their family.
At the forgiveness that we can give the college graduate, the grandfather, and the aunt, like the forgiveness we can give them is they're acting off of like no sleep, no information, what have you, after like coming together. Yeah, the dad, he's just he's stealing squid legs.
Yeah. Like the only time he like awakens or like fully gets aware is when they give him a lobotomy.
A full one at that too, which is like a crazy. I think those were the scenes where at first like I thought the character was just kind of a throwaway character, where
Yeah.
he's just like, "Oh, he's the one that's like he's like not good at what he does, but he's gonna figure it out," kind of thing.
No,
But then
he
yeah,
just needed part of his brain taken out for him to be like, I get it now.
yeah, I'm mature now, but also, which is a funny thing because his personality is quite different come the end of the movie,
Yeah.
post lobotomy. But also that those were the scenes I started to actually feel bad for him when he's like, "Please, can somebody just listen to me?" Because a big part of the movie is people looking for an excuse, and he becomes that pawn, right, for the governments to use and the military to use to get to whatever means that they're looking for to like have the glory that they want. So he keeps trying to say like, I don't feel sick, my daughter is missing, I know where my daughter is, can someone please help me? And you have the one scene with a translator where it sounds like they listen, and he's like, thank you, somebody can finally save my daughter. And then they go, it's in here, the virus, we gotta go get it. And I'm like, no, because again, if it wasn't for everyone ignoring him, he was within 5 minutes of saving his daughter.
Yeah.
Which is like, I got to a point in the movie where I was like, I hope they save her. And then with how long it was taking, I was like, they can't. She can't possibly make it to the end of the movie. So I would say that's one of the twists.
Technically, she does.
Yeah, technically. And then I think the other really fun twist was that there was nothing the whole time. Yeah. It is literally just a creature.
Was the American government scientist man, was he cross-eyed?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, this isn't just me seeing it. I'm like,
no, I'm pretty sure he was.
Probably on purpose, but yeah, it was. But yeah, those two were just like, yeah, there's a virus in here, and so. But it's just funny how they're like, okay, we're gonna silence him and do the lobotomy, and it has the exact opposite effect, where it's just like. Also, he heals super fast. Like, I feel like he does have superpowers.
Well, I mean, I also felt terrible when they were oh, why isn't he like reacting to the anesthesia? Which again, maybe it's a superpower. And they're just like,
he's like, nah. Just kept talking.
And they're just like, I don't know, just take the tissue sample. And I'm like, this scene's kind of hard to watch. The rest of the movie was pretty funny, and now they have this poor man screaming. And I guess that could have been a content warning, medical malpractice.
Oh, if you made it this far, then you know what. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how, like, because doesn't he figure out where they are without being told? Like, he knows, because the younger brother tells the sister, because like he finds it and he falls
she
off.
Calls him.
Okay, yeah.
In the one little short bit, he's on the phone with her and they take the phone away to anesthetize him.
Yeah, and that's okay. I was blanking on how he found out, but
yeah, because she's on the phone with him when she gets knocked out, because she again hesitates with the arrow, because that's
But the oldest brother, like, his almost like, lack for a better term of my own brain thinking right now, is like his kind of stupidity or like his dullness of mind it seemed like that was his hindrance, because like it isn't like he didn't have like super strength at all. Like, he had like inhuman strength as he picked up like a concrete parking pillar and gave and like stubbed the toe of the monster, and it was just like, and it like even like he drug it over, swung it, broke the concrete on the creature.
And the first time he tries to pick it up, he needs help from the military guy
to pick up the
sign, because remember the military guy is like, help, and then it bonks him on the head. It bonks the monster on the head, and that's when the guy
they throw it. And doesn't he get another one when his buddy, like when that American dude's getting eaten, and he like he
does it on his own.
He grabs another one.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder if the writers and directors were playing off of, I know they say that there's like moms will get like what seems like super strength, like there's stories of women like lifting cars up to try and save their children. So I wonder if it's that kind of thing.
It could be.
I did think it was we're going like backwards through the movie, but I did think it was a really like unfortunately funny reveal when he thinks he grabs his daughter's hand and he turns around and it's another girl, and the dad's like, ew, don't touch my daughter.
It's just like the look, and he's just like, and then he like turns around, and I was like that scene, for never watching the movie, I'm like, did they just kill the kid like in the first 10 minutes of the movie? I'm like,
the beginning is very fast paced.
Yeah, it's like within like the first 10 minutes, it's just like, I'm like, I think she's dead. And then it's like the monster dives under the water and they all like lose the monster. And I'm just like, yeah, she gone.
She gone.
Or no, I remember. It's not, and not holding the monster's not holding her by the tail. Like that's when he puts her in his stomach to move
Yeah, he
her.
goes to like a little land pile or
Yeah.
something to like, yeah,
And
spit up the one guy.
yeah. So there was that, but oh no, a scene that I also really liked is like they spend the whole day. I think that's like they escape, they spend like almost a full night and like a full day in the sewers trying to find her, and then they like, and this is when like the two other kids like they already broke into this one place and it's kind of
I
getting.
think they broke into his place to
What?
steal food from the vending.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I thought so. Like I don't. I didn't. It wasn't very clear, at least when I was watching, if they went to his food shack or if it was just a different food shack. Because not that it's that big of a deal, but yeah, when they go in there and they're all like eating the food and they're all like tired, like kind of disheartened and everything, and then it's just like they all like mass hallucinate that the niece is there eating.
And they get to feed her again, yeah.
Feed her, and they're all like sharing different things. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that would be, like, if she was actually there, that would be buck wild on on its own. Which is like, how'd you get out? Like,
And like kind of like a body snatchers kind of theme from then on, because I think immediately afterwards they just show her like still alive. Yeah, I also like, yeah, that would have been a crazy twist. Because at first I was like, is it called the host because it takes over bodies? But then as the movie went on, I was like, oh, no. They all just dreamt that she was back and they could sleep peacefully and that everything was over.
Then we got a lore drop of
main guy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I did almost cry. I feel like it's been I don't think I've I cried during Pan's Labyrinth. I think that's the last movie I like actually cried for. But I did almost cry when the father realizes his son can't count. Because he's like, I have one bullet left, Dad.
Yes.
And they stand there and the son goes,
it's like,
oh.
Yeah. Oh.
And then he doesn't know what to do other than be like, Dad, you have to wake up now, as they're coming. So yeah, when it comes to like family drama, I think I forgot how much emphasis is put on the like strained family relationship of it all. And I think I really like that about it, because I think when we watched Pacific Rim, I remember thinking, like, okay, we're in the monster suits, but, like, what does it mean? Like, whereas when you watch, like, I think I had watched Godzilla 0 or Minus Zero not too long ago, and that's a movie about a kaiju, but in terms of, like, what do you do when you're recovering from that, right? Because there's a lot of, like, aftermath and things like that. And I think in The Host, it is like that part kaiju, part what happens to the people when this thing has gone through and like devastated an area.
Well, in the Wikipedia, there's multiple moments where Bong Joon is quoted or has made mention how he was inspired by the kaiju genre for this film, by specifically Godzilla and Ultraman.
That makes sense.
And it's interesting, like his quote. He's like, he added that he was unhappy at the lack of monster movie tradition in South Korea, which, when did this movie come out? Not The Host, but a different movie.
Yeah, I figured. Is there another monster movie from South Korea?
Not from South Korea, but I've heard that quote. Okay, Cloverfield, the first one, almost had an exact same quote. Where pretty much, I think, is that J.J. Abrams, I think. Yeah, J.J. Abrams wanted to make an American version of Godzilla, or, like, give them their own kaiju, which I think, funny enough, like, the only place people actually like and you can find figures of the Cloverfield monster is in Japan. But
I haven't watched Cloverfield, but I've heard mixed things. I think the reason I didn't watch it, is it found footage?
Yes.
Okay, that makes me nauseous.
Yes, I will say I do like Cloverfield. I think it's a fun concept for a kaiju film. there is a lot of shaky cam because it's pretty much a overweight dude running around with a camcorder.
Oh, like heavy breathing as he's like
There's
watching
different,
what's happening.
but it's like a lot of like boom boom, like kind of jerking around, a lot of movement. I think like cinematography wise, it is very creative for a found footage thing, kind of like how Blair Witch Project also is kind of except every time I think of the Blair Witch Project, I think of the Blair Thumb Project, I think it's called. You ever heard of
Is that a parody?
Yes,
it
is.
Okay.
It is this whole thing that kind of came out in the late 2000s, where they took big movies and all they did was take thumbs and put faces on them, and they would be so there's like the Thumb Father, and so
I see.
there's like the Thumb That Strikes Back for The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, they had the Blair Thumb Project, and so yeah, it's all it is thumbs, and it's if you know the movie and you're a fan of it, it is like almost that early internet stupid humor that it's like I don't want to say harmless because it's been so long and we know how my memory for some movies go,
but it's one of those like if you're a fan of it, you go, yeah,
yes,
I see what they're doing.
Yeah, like so like for The Godfather, there's like the famous scene of the horse head in the bed. They like they kind of play on that. They wake up and he's like, oh, my feet are cold. Okay, who uncovered my feet or something along the lines of that.
Something a lot more innocent than the actual.
And then it's just, or like, no, I think they do that, but then it's like a whole giraffe is in their bed, and it's just like like to the point where it's like it doesn't make sense. But I also have to be careful because I know I think Robot Chicken does something very similar in that. With that humor thing, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm quoting that, but I know they kind of make fun of that, and there's another one, but yeah, they're if you enjoy the movies and like look up the thumb movies, they're harmless fun.
Yeah, like a parody through like being fans of it. Yeah, that's fair. But no, it is interesting how kaiju really does just kind of come back to. I mean, the name of it in itself is a Japanese name, so it makes sense to me that Japan would be like, oh, another new monster. I also like this movie. Whereas some other audiences may not be into it as much. I think it is not to say uniquely, but I do understand why culturally. I think we've talked about this a little bit about like why Godzilla was like culturally important for Japan right after everything that they went through. So it makes sense that kaiju is still kind of ingrained in their culture more so than say like in the West, where in the West we haven't had anything happen in the same ways that Japan had seen it.
Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't like a kaiju film after 9/11.
Like, I mean, theoretically, yes, but I think the reason is probably
a little bit different. They came out instead of kaiju, they went a completely different way.
They went a completely different way in terms of like how the nation handled it, but I also think of it in terms of like, even though growing up like along the East Coast, I could see a kaiju film being made. I think as a country as a whole, I think we've talked about this. It's too big for anyone to like identify with it in a way that's you would expect. But in any case, back to the host. Which scene involving money was your favorite? I think mine was bribing the head of the cleanup crews.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of discussions about like how they're not well off, how hard it is to have money, you know, between all these different main characters and side characters. But yeah, the whole scene where he's like, I know everybody that's supposed to be on the cleaning crew, and I know the whole schedule. I don't know you. And he's like, this is all we have, sir. And he opens it and he's like, what the hell?
Yes, that was pretty funny. Like I did like how the ramen cup or bowl filled with savings to get her a new phone was like, and then it's just how he didn't want to give it up, and they're just like, stop it. And it's like finally ripping his hands like, this is all we have. That one was fun, and there's this guy's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then
the dad being extorted was like very sad.
That one, oh yeah, that's the one I was just like, oh, I felt so bad for the dad because it's just like he's giving it all, and then his 3 idiot kids are in there just like bickering like they're not even like they're still in middle school.
I know, you gave your life savings away for a map printed on recycled paper. It's like, guys,
yeah, it's like,
he's
what
looking
did you
for
do?
his granddaughter. Yeah. He has one granddaughter.
It's like, yeah, and he had to leave you guys in the car like you do with kids when you have to like go.
You can't trust them.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just like one of those things. I'm like, oh, okay, like it was annoying, and it's like I'm glad for their journeys at the end where it's like they all like kind of come together at the end and like kind of finally step up. But then it's just like, what is it for? Like the whole reason is like we want to save our niece, and then the most mature out of everybody ends up giving her life to save some dude.
Some kid. Yeah, but I took it to be kind of like some books that you and I both like to read, kind of like the female rage is the lack of a better term that I can think of, but like the rage of it all, where, you know, on one hand they can finally have a little bit more of I forget the word right now, but like a lot of the families that they were with that lost people, none of them got to like see the body. And I know there is like a psychological term for being, it's hard to grieve if you don't get to like say goodbye, which like I've heard people like who have family members lost in like boating accidents or like airplanes and stuff like that. Like sometimes part of grief is being able to like at least see the person. And I've also heard the case for animals. Like some people told me like when I lost one of my rabbits, they're like, your other rabbit might want to see the body, and I was like, unfortunately I am weak. I could not like do that. But
by the way, the frequent listener liked your bunny on your story.
Thank you. Her and her box.
Yeah, we had a moment. I was just like flicking through Instagram, and it's just like, oh, Hop never posts anything. Oh, funny. Hey, look. And she's like, oh.
I literally was trying to find a place to put that box in the room for her because she does like to destroy things. And I was like cleaning up and sweeping up because I bring it in from inside, like outside to inside. I was sweeping and I turn around and it's in the middle of the hallway and she's already in it. Like, oh, this is pretty nice. This is a pretty nice space. And I was just like, well, that's not where it's going to live.
Solid bun.
But yeah, like, so I think on one hand, like, it is devastating that they were so close to saving her. But again, there's plenty of metaphor and allegory about like the failings of the system when they have been trying to like ask for help, because they have the whole thing like, should we call the cops? And they're like, what are the cops going to do? Yeah. The cops are being controlled by, you know, all the different layers of it all. And then you also have like the moment, like you said, they all kind of like recognize that their grief is like fully on display. So they're just like, I will feel better if I eliminate the source, which I've also heard revenge is not psychologically healthy for people. It's not as cathartic as people think it will be. But I think in this case, like, you know, it comes around full circle for them. But it's I
do wish that it was like, it would have been nice if it was just like a quick scene, if the daughter saw what like like
if she got one final breath in,
like just to see like my dad, who I thought was an idiot, is just beating the snot out of this monster with his hands.
Yeah, I think the biggest plot problem I had was with the ending. Like, it is a really strong scene, but like if the chemical used was causing people's ears to bleed, but everybody, like the main characters, are fine, and the monster is like losing body parts because of how strong this chemical
because
like
they're
warfare
superheroes
is. Yeah, like that was it was hard for me to suspend my disbelief, even though I was rooting for them to, like, you know, basically do what they do in like animes where you have the boss and the 6 kids come together and go, I broke his one arm, I broke his leg, if we break the other leg maybe we can win, you know, with that whole like collective with the power of family drama.
Yeah, I did think it was a really fun thing, like, because it's something that we didn't touch on, and we're out of time. But the youngest brother, it is hinted at And then because it's one of the things I do like about this movie, of like how they talk about the characters without like
A
doing
lot of
flashbacks
show.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's a quick line with the youngest brother when he's trying to get the triangulate where the niece is, and his fatter friend, don't forget his name, but the guy, he's just like, oh yeah, you remember the protests and all that stuff, and he's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm here to find my niece, just shut up. And he's like, yeah, okay, and then like talks about the sister. And then it's like another quick line when it's like he comes down to the homeless dude, and he's just like, can we get there? And the guy's just like, oh, okay. And he's like, I want your like your bottles and all that stuff. And he just does the line of like, as he's like preparing all the Molotovs, and he's just like, oh, you've done this before. He's like, this guy's a professional. And he's just like, and then like the taxi driver's like, if you're protesting, I'm not taking you anywhere. He's like, just take me there. And he's like, okay.
It's like, it'll be hard to get there with everything happening. Yeah. And he's like, what's even happening right now? Because he's, you know.
And then, but I do like the end scene, like, of them fighting the monster, even though it's like, okay, suspend my disbelief of why are you guys okay? I do like to imagine it's just they're so angry that not even chemicals, not even Agent Yellow can hurt them. But even though it's like, no, we're affected, our ears are bleeding. It's like, yeah, but there was like a couple like dudes that were there.
Yeah, there are cops that are throwing up
and
like blood and like, yeah.
But I did think it was fun. Where it's just like he misses every Molotov of fire, because like that's when they see child niece, baby Owl. She dead. That's not her name, but she's not doing great. And then it just like kind of throw fire, scare Monstar, and then he's just like, I'm gonna hit this one. Oopsie, slippy fingers. And then it's like, that's right, it's my turn.
I can finally shoot the arrow.
Yeah. And then pretty much shish kebabs him, Big Brother.
With the sign from the beginning, essentially the same sign from the beginning. Yeah.
He's like Full Metal Alchemist, except instead of like clapping and bringing stuff, he just smacks things, and they become weapons. The last question I think I would, and I know you said that this wasn't your first time watching it, but if you remember the first time you were watching it, or the very end when the father, he
basically
adopts
is adopted.
The kid, and they're like in their own food shack doing that, and like the scene goes on for a while because he's just like, oh, here, and he's like, what do you want to watch? And it's just like, and he's like, oh, we don't want to watch news, let's change that or something. And it's like giving him food and all that stuff, as like it kind of sits there and it kind of lingers for a little bit. And since like they were fine in the smoke, were you expecting, or do you remember expecting, if the niece or the daughter was going to walk in at the end?
I did not remember expecting that. I think I assumed, like, based on everyone's reactions earlier in the movie, I assumed she was like, dead.
Yeah, it was like, I could see it going back and forth, where it's just like, I could see it ending there, but then it was just like, this is lingering on, like this end a little bit. And it was just like, that's still a lot of food.
That is true.
And so like, I was kind of half expecting like the door to open up, like maybe we don't see her, but then it was just like, and then it went out, and I'm like, no, I kind of like that ending as well.
Yeah, I think I took it as that lingering bit where it's that new uncomfortable quiet where they're like, he has to readjust to, we see a completely different version of him by the end. Like we said, he's been lobotomized, but he doesn't
what he needed.
Yeah, he doesn't have his hair dyed anymore. He's cooking for once.
Yeah.
But it also took it as one of those like long lingering scenes where it's who he wishes he could be. Right? Like, if she had made it out and been alive, this is what he would do. And I also, my headcanon from the movie is like, he would probably be like, he probably wouldn't be able to live with himself if he wasn't able to take care of somebody else. So he's now very overly doting in that way that he's like trying to make up for.
Yeah. and
who he was.
It's also like, because where he is, it's almost like he's like, no, I did all that. I'm gonna protect. Like he's like almost being like a guardian of the river, because he's like it has that quick scene
Anticipating,
because like there's like movement outside. It doesn't really show what it is, like if it's the wind or something, because he like slowly lifts the gun, looks, opens the window, doesn't see anything. Because it does like in the middle of the movie, like he's able to spot the monster, like hiding in the bushes, like before anybody else. And he's like, it's there waiting for us, and so it's just like, it's like apparently he just needed to literally get his brain looked at for him to
rearranged a little bit, yeah.
It's like a Homer Simpson character, anyway. But yeah, no, I could see that. Like I could see that as well. It was just one of those things where I'm like, I was kind of half expecting like, I'm like,
some other secret little twist,
or something. But or like,
I think they were also playing it long. Well, no, but the way I was watching it on Canopy, if I turn on subtitles, it would overwrite the Korean translated subtitles because it has a mix of English and Korean in it. And I had my volume kind of low. And I didn't turn on the subtitles for the end bit, so I didn't quite catch what was in the newscast. But I wonder if they played it long for the American government admitting to its wrongness too.
Like that would happen.
Well, admitting to like, maybe we shouldn't have used chemical warfare. Maybe we made a lot of assumptions.
No. That's the true fantasy. The American government admitting it's wrong.
No, did you catch what they said in the very end?
It was also a week ago, so
fair enough.
When I watched it, but yeah, but
no, yeah, but it's good movie. I think a nice switch over from us doing like true horror into now getting into some lighter-hearted movies. Granted, I know Snowpiercer, or not Snowpiercer, I know Parasite is going to be like, haha, oh no. A lot of haha, oh no. But we've both at least watched it once.
Yep.
So.
I can't remember if I watched it once or twice. I can't remember. But, no, I'll at least be watching the second time. But that is not what we're watching next week. We are watching... My brain switched the words to be in my head. I was saying Piercer Snow, but Snowpiercer with Captain America and probably some other people whose names I'm forgetting. That's not even his name. Whatever. Chris Evans, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fun trivia or stuff. I don't know. We didn't look it up.
Oh, I have a trivia. Oh. So the event described in the very beginning of the film is based on an actual event. In February of 2000, at a U.S. military facility located in the center of Seoul, a U.S. military civilian employee was ordered to dispose of formaldehyde by dumping it into the sewer system that led into the Han River, despite the objection of the subordinate. They wanted to prosecute him, but the U.S. military refused to hand over the custody to the perpetrator to the South Korean legal system. I'm trying to summarize it. And then he was later convicted. And then in 2005, he was finally found guilty in court, but he never served prison sentence, and there have been no sightings. But there have been no sightings of a creature in the Han River. But yeah, like when we say social, but when we say like social commentary, like Bong Joon seems to be very like aware and wants to use movies to bring attention to different things.
Mm-hmm. I clicked on trivia, and the first one cracked me up, where it was just. Bong Joon-ho, designer of the creature, nicknamed it Steve Buscemi, based on the actor's screen persona in Fargo, which is on my list to watch eventually. The frequent listener doesn't. Every time it's like, we should watch Fargo. She says no, because it's too old. But she watched the thing, so.
Slowly, like, introduce, yeah. It does look like... scrolling down a little bit more, Bong Joon-ho felt that in many monster movies, it's usually the scientist or the muscle-bound hero who saves the day, and he wanted the heroes of this film to be everyday people, namely the dysfunctional family. Apparently, he has a previous film where he had the police investigating the case being like, incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a common theme for him is the idea of a lower to middle class character who's on the downward track is able to become the lead.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, you did ask about the tail. So it says the idea of the monster being able to swing from its tail and its agility was inspired by the location alone. Bong Joon knew that based on the surroundings, the monster would have to be able to move like it does in order to move around underneath the bridge.
Apparently, there's test footage of the host too. Yeah, they came out in 2012, and then in 2019, it was canceled without disclosure.
Gasp. I think I'm okay with it not having a sequel.
Yeah. So, pooped that. So anyway, I got nothing else. Do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Thumbs up. Watch this movie again if you've watched it before.
Mm-hmm. And if you spoiled yourself, how dare you?
Watch it and pretend everything we said.
Reverse.
Or pretend to forget.
Control, Alt, Delete your brain. Kind of like how they did to the main character. Yes. So, once again, Snowpiercer next week. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And